Can you hear me? Hi. It's a little low. Let me see. Turn this volume up. Can you hear me? Okay. Huh?
Do you have like any headphones?
Let me see. Let me Bluetooth. Let me see if they'll connect to my computer.
Yeah, because I hear echo and it's gonna mess up my audio.
Um, Talk. Can you? Yeah, this is not. The headphones are not gonna connect to my computer.
Gotcha. And these are like AirPods.
Yeah, they're not gonna connect to my computer, but I think I should be able to hear you.
Let me check that.
Oh shoot. Are you talking?
No, I'm
No,
actually
no, I'm actually
on my
on
soundboard.
my soundboard. Okay. It should work fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I hear an echo.
I hear an
You
echo.
have me on speaker?
You have me on speaker? It's on my computer. Maybe I should join on my phone.
Yeah, join your phone.
Yeah, join your phone. Let me leave this. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ariee. So I'm gonna play a snippet of I Like It, and then I'll do like an
Okay.
introduction. I'm gonna introduce you, and then we'll get right into the interview. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Countdown for 30 seconds. Hey, what's up, Saucy Nation? It's your boy Jeff, man. If you know right now, this is Saucy Conversations. This is season 4, episode 9. And man, we got a special episode here for you today on this Sunday afternoon. But before we get started, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, the only God, Son Yahweh Shah, who the world called Jesus Christ. And we appreciate you for joining this today broadcast. Shout out to my co-hosts, Denise, Dad, and Matt, who couldn't make it today. Shout out to them. Shout out to the whole Saucy Nation. Shout out to the whole family. Also, shout out to our sponsors. So, we got Click A Vodka on board. Shout out to Click A Vodka. Hit the link in our bio or hit the link in our YouTube channel. It will send you straight to Click A Vodka website, and you can have the bottles actually delivered on your front porch or your house. And also, shout out to Holistic Remedies, black-owned company, body butters, that CBD oils, and everything. So make sure you use that promo code HR Meets Saucy, and you get 10% off at the checkout. So today we have today's guest. We have a musician. She's also the co-founder of let's see what- she also the co-founder of Fox and Co Beauty. And today with Social Nation, I'd like to welcome you to Social Conversations. Ariee, how you doing today? Can you hear me? Um, I can't hear you. Jump off, come back in. I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. Uh, jump off and come back in. Yeah, come back in. Exit out and come back in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No. Oh, unmute yourself. Do you hear me now? Hey.
Now I can hear you,
You, now you can. All right. Good. Good. Good.
but the volume is kind of low still.
What about now?
Still kind of low.
So now,
I have the headphones in.
you have the headphones in. How about now?
Still low.
Yeah, I'm all the way turned up. I don't know. Yeah, I'm all the way turned up. So that must be why.
I wonder what is more audio settings. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear loud and clear.
It's just low on your end for some reason. Let me try to do the iPhone microphone. Can you talk?
Can you hear me now?
Nope. Nope.
No.
It's just low.
It's low, but can you still hear me? Like, like
Yeah, it's just very low.
it's very low. Okay. All right. So, Ari, before we touch with your present and your future, let's go to the past. Tell us about your childhood. Tell us about how was it growing up in Louisiana. Tell us about your parents and your family.
I grew up in New Orleans. Whole family's from New Orleans. My grandmother was a jazz singer. She used to tour with the Moses Hogan Chorale. I am the second youngest with all girls.
Wow.
So we grew up in New Orleans East. Um, grew up, I started singing in the church and then moved to, well, in college and high school, I started working at this bar that I was too young to work at. And I was taking money at the door. And there was like these bands that would play every week. And they would call me up to sing certain songs. And that's pretty much how like I just started singing and getting on the road and singing with different bands. And it went from that to like doing stuff with bigger artists like Mystical and Trombone Shorty and Grammy Ruffins, etc. So
Nice, nice.
that's pretty much it.
So tell us about like school. Like how was like school growing up in Louisiana?
School was fine. I was a little bit nerdy, you know. I went to I went to pretty good schools. I went to UNO for college though. I went for film theory and communications.
Okay, nice, nice. You mentioned that at the age of 8 you were singing in church. I also grew up in church as well.
Hmm.
I started going to church. So, is there anybody that you looked up to in church, or actually was a mentor towards you to
Well,
sing?
yeah. So in church, I actually went to church. My choir director was Frank Richard, who is the artist Dawn Richard's dad. So she was in the choir with me, and her dad was the organist. So he pretty much kind of taught me everything that I needed to know at church and singing and put me on my first solos and things like that. And she started doing like Danity Kane and doing, she's her own independent solo artist. So that's pretty much, I was always surrounded by people that were like doing things and pretty artistic, and I could never escape music.
Cool. Does anybody else in your family sing? Or did your mother sing, or
Just my grandmother.
your grandmother?
Yep.
Okay, nice,
Hmm.
nice, nice. So, in school, what kind of what was your favorite subjects in school, classes?
My favorite subjects in school were history and social studies. I don't know why, because it's just mostly like telling stories, and I like to
Okay,
hear stories and
Mo-
tell them.
right,
So
moving
that was
forward.
pretty interesting to me just to figure out how like certain things happened in the world and stuff like that. So those are my go-to subjects.
Okay, I'm a history buff myself, so I love history. I love reading about history and stuff like that. So during high school, did you was you like any choruses, or did you the what like how high was your level of confidence in singing? Did you sing like any talent shows, or anything like that? Like,
Yeah, so in high school, I would do a bunch of talent shows. I also was in like the choir. I sang some solos and I went to McDonough 35, so I was in that choir. Um, but I also, right after like maybe like Katrina, I was doing a bunch of talent shows and they had a bunch of things like that. So I was pretty confident in doing like the singing thing, but I wasn't like at that point in high school, I wasn't, writing my own music at that point. I was just, tiptoeing into like music and singing and performing and things like that.
okay, is it any like major artists that you looked up to? Maybe like a Whitney Houston or Patti LaBelle. Is there anybody in the industry that you looked up to?
Major artists that I looked up to were, I love Tamia's voice. I love Bruno Mars. I love Janelle Monáe, um, Prince, Michael Jackson. I love Jasmine Sullivan, um, Khalees, pretty artistic, you know. Those are like my favorite artists.
love all the people you just actually named. Um, tell us about your writing process, like and recording process. Um, like a lot of artists have like rituals before they, get in the studio. Like I know some people that gotta have, some chicken wings and a Pepsi. Some people gotta have like a bowl of rice. Like what is your rituals when you're about to record and
I
write?
don't, I just need like when I'm writing, I don't like to write with like a bunch of people around. Like I have to be like by myself in my own world. Um, yeah, I'm not like a fan of writing with a bunch of people because I feel like once I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. Like I don't mind if like another writer wants to come and like maybe edit or change things, but like during that point, I like to be like to get all of my ideas out and have it flow like that and not really have like 30 other people's input on, my creative process.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
do like it quiet. I like set the mood with some incense or something.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Um, when you actually recording, is also the same thing. Like like nobody in the room or just the engineer.
When I'm actually recording,
When you're actually recording,
yeah, when I'm actually recording, it's usually just me and the producer in a room,
okay.
which is what I like. Like, I don't like a huge audience in like around while I'm
Mm,
recording.
mm.
Same way.
Gotcha, gotcha,
Like
gotcha.
whoever's adding to it can be there, but I don't like, you know,
A whole
too many people around.
people. Right, right. Is there an actual reason for that, or it just a certain? Because I know some people that actually when they record, some people do like to have like a lot of people around them, just like to get like a little vibe going. But is there a reason for that? Like
Hmm.
personally, like you don't want anybody around because maybe like different opinions, or you just mainly this is how I do things. I'm
It's
gonna
just
do it.
people just bring different energies into the room.
Mm,
And I can focus better when it's just me or me and the producer. Like,
mm,
me and the producer or engineer would bounce ideas off of each other instead of like having people that aren't even like a part of what we're doing or have the vision for what we're doing in the room.
uh,
So,
gotcha.
yeah, I just don't like it.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, definitely, definitely. My next question for you is, performing. What do you enjoy more? Is it performing or actually writing and recording the songs?
Oh, my favorite thing to do is perform. Like, that is number one on my list. It's just it's fun for me. It's fun. It is just it's like a release, like a therapy release. Also,
Mm,
like
I
it's
understand.
just I would rather perform as often as possible.
Yeah, I was watching some of your videos on YouTube where you actually performing with a live band. Like how was
Hmm.
that energy performing live with a band instead of just having a DJ playing a track? Like what's the actual difference to you?
Performing with a live band is it's just so much of like what I'm used to. So it's just like what I was thrown into when I first started singing. So, like I said, when I was working at that club, it was a live band. Ever since then, it was like I can only perform with the live band. Like I can't do a track. It's like a different feel. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you have like real musicians playing and the energy that they put into playing and the talent that they have. It just takes the music to another level. And then, being like a band leader, you're able to allow those musicians, to show off what they can do and just for them to be able to like stretch out and really like add a lot more elements to the song that you didn't really even know that was there. So it just gives a whole different vibe, a whole different feel, which is why people like to go to shows. It's very like real, raw, and like in the moment instead of very like super produced.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, how involved are you in soundtrack? 'Cause I know a lot of artists like to be very involved in soundtrack because maybe they want to add something while the musician actually playing your song. So, how involved are you in soundtrack before a live show?
I'm very involved in the soundtrack. That is very important for a show. Like that's like if the sound is bad, the whole show is bad. Like none of that can happen. Like that's a very integral part of a show is having really good sound and a really good sound engineer that knows what they're doing. Um, because that's just super huge, and important. So like having like the right frequencies on my mic and everybody else's mic to be able to, hear the songs correctly and all the instruments correctly is super important. So yeah, we take a lot of time on the sound check.
Okay. Oh, oh. So it also says that I've been reading about your career. It also said you actually performed at the Essence Fest Center stage. To tell us about that, how did that come about?
How did what come about?
You performing at the Essence Fest Center stages and other jazz festivals.
Oh, okay. I was at that time I was getting ready to do a tour, a high school tour, where I went to Chicago and like the DMV areas. So I was just putting out like different music. I had just put out my EP and I had a bunch of things going on. And Essence called me to be their new and next artist on the center stage at Essence Fest. And I got my dancers together and we came up with like a super dope show to like jam pack it in like 15 minutes. It was a really good experience. And I had a lot of fun doing that show.
So, what are some things that you actually take away from your live shows, and how do you like? It could be something that you didn't like or something you did like, and actually you know saying to yourself when it comes to the next show, this is what I want change and stuff like that. How important is that to you?
Um, it's always good to critique your shows. Of course, after. You don't want to do that during. But I mean, when you mess up or like something happens or it's a wrong note somewhere, somebody played or stuff like that. But that's all to me just after the show. Like during the show, like that's what I'm saying. Like the beauty of like being and doing a live show is that it's live. Like you can't change it. It's real. So I mean, people make mistakes all the time. But typically the audience doesn't even pick it up. But you know what I'm saying? Like you as the musician, you as the artist know. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do like the James Brown role? Do you find people who actually messes up in the show?
What did you say?
Like, do you take like the James Brown route, or like, or somebody messes up a key or something like that in the show? Do you actually find them?
No. After the show, maybe.
So, like, do you like give like signals like $5 or like $10 off? Like, you messed up. You messed up.
Nah. No.
Okay. No, I know some people that do that. Like, they have like hand gestures and stuff like that. Like they might throw up a one. Like that's one. They count out like every time they miss a key or something like that. It's all hilarious, man.
No. We do all that all in rehearsals. But I'll joke with them and stuff. But that's all in getting like really professional musicians. They will critique themselves. They
Right.
will bring things to the table that you probably didn't even think to bring. That's all in having like a really good MD.
Right.
who can handle that? Because you as the artist don't want to handle that. I leave all of that up to like my MD.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, outside of music, like, what are your hobbies? What you like to do besides, writing and recording music?
I wouldn't say it's a hobby, but I just started this hairline called Fox and Co Beauty.
Hmm.
That I am starting. I'm like I have a lot of hair, so it took me a few months. Well, actually, this pandemic to actually be like, okay, I need something that I can like tangibly sell that people can get their hands on. And so I focused on like hair care. And so my first product that I came out with was an edge gel
Yes.
because we love our edges. So
Lay them
I
edges
was
down.
like, yeah. So I went in, huh?
Yeah, lay them edges down. Like my aunt like to say.
Yeah. So I got that and did the edge gel, and I'm basically starting from scratch with the business and focusing on marketing and getting it out there to the public.
Okay, so tell us about the process of that. Is it something homemade, or did you get with a company that actually makes certain stuff like that? Like, tell us about the process of actually.
So like a bunch of like research goes into it, like even down to like what am I going to name this company? I named it Fox and Co because that was like my nickname when I was performing. They called me the Fox, and so that's actually my logo for my performing and my logo for the hair care. So it's called Fox and Company. And then it was researching what product would resonate with me and be very authentic to me, and also um, that people need. You know, it's all about creating something that like solving a problem that people need, basically. And so I said edge, and nobody can find like I couldn't find like an edge control for my hair. I have like natural hair. So finding manufacturers that can create a product that actually works. And that's when I came up with my laid edge gel because it really works.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Actually, her Instagram and everything for the Edgel is actually in the description below. So make sure you go support, especially black-owned business as well. My next question to you: what is your nationality? Me and my friends got a little bet going
I am.
on.
So, as you know, I'm from New Orleans,
Hmm.
and that's just, I mean, I'm black, I guess. I mean, that's Creole, the same thing. Black is Creole, Creole's black. Like, I have all different type of people in my family. I have an aunt in France looks pretty Caucasian. So
Gotcha.
it's all like every time everybody asks me that, I'm like, huh?
You have like any native blood in you? Native American blood in you?
No. So I did my ancestry DNA. I have Italian, Nigerian, English, and West African.
Okay, okay.
And they were all about 25%.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. That means I lost my bet. Because I thought you was like like American,
You thought I was what?
Native American, like you had like a Native American and black. I
Yeah,
thought
a
it was
lot
more
of people think,
personality.
yeah, I don't have any Native American. I don't have any Native American. It's the cheekbones, I know.
Definitely, definitely. So, like, what other things you like to do outside of music? Like you go with your homegirls, you go to club, or you know, you just like going out, spending time with family, like going out to eat. Like, what else you like?
I love to eat. That I love to eat. I go to the gym a lot. I'm not really like a club person. I'm more like a lounge person. I
Gotcha.
would do like brunches and stuff, but I'm not like a clubs aren't like really my thing. I don't really like too much smoke. There needs a lot of smoke out here.
Too much smoke in the club, huh?
Too much smoke. I'm not a hookah smoker.
Yeah, me either. Definitely. So one of my favorite singles is the one I actually played in the beginning of the show. I like it. Tell us what was going on through your mind when you actually um, brainstorming and actually writing down the lyrics for the song, and how they come about, like who produced it and everything.
Which song?
I like it.
I like it. I think I was dating somebody when I wrote I like it. But then I was like, when I heard the song, I was like, I was really listening to a lot of old school music too.
Mm,
And so I have those elements mixed with like the new school type
that's dope.
vibes.
It feels like that. It feels like that.
So
It feels like
yeah.
I want to say like early '90s, mid '90s type of R&B, like Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jackson era, or Mary J. That type of era. That's the feel I get from that song. The vibe I
Yeah.
get. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so you was dating somebody at the time, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another question I want to ask you. So how much of your personal relationships with somebody goes into your music?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. Oh, okay.
I don't put it on Facebook and Instagram. I put it in my songs. That's why, yeah, that's inspiration. I'm like, all right, if we're dating, it's gonna go in the song. So
Right, right, right.
that's just what it is.
Because I know a lot of artists that they like to look at people outside their relationships, and that becomes expiring to them to actually write a song. Do you do that sometimes? Maybe you might look at your friends.
Yeah, anything can be inspiring. Like people have stopped doing it as much, but a lot of people used to like put all their business on Facebook and Instagram, and I used to be like, oh, I wonder if that was like a real situation, how I would feel, or if one of my friends are going through something, I'll put that in there. Or it could just be something like I'm actually curious about this subject, so let me write a song
Okay.
similar to it.
Right. So one of my other favorite songs from you is "Still in Love." I mean, that song made me cry. It had a little tears coming down, stuff like that. So tell
hmm
us about what was going on. What's the process? What was going on through your mind when you actually putting this words on paper?
That was another relationship song. So if you listen to Still in Love, it's like sad lyrics over an upbeat tempo.
Yes.
So, I don't know, that kind of just explains like people's like perception of me because like I'm just like very upbeat and happy, but nobody would know like if I was sad. So that kind of like is the song. Like you wouldn't know really like just by looking at me what I would be going through because I'm always like, ah. So that's kind of like a reflection of that song. It's like you could be going through a breakup or anything, but you could also do it and kind of keep it like lively and upbeat. It's kind of like opposites.
Right. Right. And what are some producers you actually work with to help you come up with that process for the song?
I couldn't hear you.
Who are some producers you were actually work with to actually you know give you some beats? Always send you beats all the time, and also others. Do you like other songwriters or producers that actually help you, or put in their 2 cents? I think this song should go this way. I think this song go that way. Like, who are some producers you actually work with to help you with this process?
Who are some of the producers?
Hmm.
I've dealt with like multiple producers for each song. The process with that is we would go in the studio and one listen to some things that they already had. Some producers might have already had an idea, some don't have an idea and just thought that it would be a good song for me to do. And then some producers, we would sit there and create the song on the spot. They would say, okay, what kind of ideas or what kind of vibe are you going for? I would explain the vibe. They would create the beat then, and I would write to it as they were creating it. So,
So,
yeah, it's two different. I mean, it's a lot of ways you can go about it.
gotcha, gotcha. My my other favorite song from you is "Come Over." I mean, whew. I mean, you tore it down on that one. Tell us about that song and how to come about. Yes, tell us about that song, how it come about.
Come over.
Yeah, come over. Yeah.
Come. I was. What was I doing? I don't know how I wrote that song. I was thinking about pulling up on somebody's house. That's how the song got created.
Okay.
Um, with the video, I actually shot that. Some of my friends in LA were like, "Hey, we want to shoot a video. Come out here. We're gonna do it." And I'm like, "Okay." So I flew out there to LA and we came up with the concept like really quickly. And that was that. I rented like a G-Wag from some other friends. And we just shot the video and like they really did a good job, yeah.
So how many days did it take to shoot the video? Was it one day or was it 2 days, different locations?
It only took a day. Yeah, it only took a day to shoot that video. Um, but I used that trip like as a little vacation too, so it all worked out. And I just got to drive around a G-Wag in LA, so that was also cool.
Dope, dope, dope. So on the business side, I see that you have the LLC, which is Ariee Music Group, right? So how tell us about the distribution deal and how important it is on the business side of it to actually
Uh,
own your own company.
yeah, the business side is very important to have like literally all of your ducks in a row because I mean, people will try to get over on you as much as possible. So it's really important to have just all of your business together, especially if you're invested in yourself and putting in, money into your own business. So I look at it as I am a business. So anything I do and as far as like musically and performing wise is business and music related. So I have to be well versed in all of the like technicalities, especially with music as far as like publishing and royalties and copywriting and trademarking. Like I had to trademark my name. I trademarked my name a long time ago, maybe in like 2017.
Hmm.
And that took a minute, but it's a lot because people will try to come out with your name, you know.
Yep.
They'll try to release music on under your name or take, it's just a bunch of different things that the average person wouldn't think of that you have to be like 10 steps ahead of. So like when I do meet with companies that want to distribute or sign or anything like that, I'm able to be like, listen, all of this is already together. All of this is already, complete, and that's much work that y'all have to do.
Right. No, absolutely. Um, tell us about In Groove's Universal. How did that deal come about with the distribution deal?
I had some friends that were connected to Ingrou's Universal. We did a few songs. They were looking to sign my label under. they're basically another label, like a subsidiary under another label. So I had the Ariee Music Group, which is where I'm going to be releasing all of my music under. And we basically just had a situation where I was going to distribute, my music for that year under Universal In Grooves.
Okay.
So that worked out until COVID, of course.
Messed everything up. Messed everything up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
So we had like a whole plan and everything, but things happen.
Okay. Um. Also, I know you did a song with Lil Wayne. How was it working with Lil Wayne?
Actually, that song I did not meet him, so that happened through um my producer DJ Spin. He has a relationship with him, and I was actually on the road when we did that. He had his verse down, and I went and added my verse in two separate studios, and we put them together.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of technology.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Um. So my next question. What do you work? Are you working on a new album now? What are some things that you're actually working on?
Yeah, so I'm working on. I actually have my album completed. I'm working on shooting a video, shooting a single um, for one of my songs that I'm thinking about putting out in this first quarter. And I was also thinking about just releasing the entire album over the stretch of the year
Okay.
instead of just releasing the entire album at the same time, just doing it like, single, single, single,
Singles.
single,
Yeah.
whatever until the end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. So how many tracks do you have? Once you put out the album, how many tracks we could expect of you having?
Yeah, I have 12 tracks.
12 tracks. Okay. Okay. Nice.
hmm
Is there anything outside of music besides the eggshell that you actually working on, and we actually should look out for?
Is there anything what?
Is there anything outside of music or outside of the eggshell business? Um, is there anything other projects you're working on besides those two things, besides music and
No. Of course I do like outside of Fox and Co and stuff like that, I do like acting. So I'm constantly like auditioning for roles and different things like that. So I did a few like commercials and things like that. So that really sums up like what I'm working on.
so how was that actually acting? How was that number one working out for you, and how was it how is it that you are adjusting to it? Like how are you adjusting to it? Is it totally different? I know it's totally different from doing music, but how are you adjusting to the acting?
Yeah, it's definitely different. Actors don't get enough credit because freaking you're auditioning for hundreds and hundreds of roles before somebody calls you to do one, to, book you for one. So it is pretty, I mean, it's fun. You get to play different people, you get to do different things, but a lot of different factors come into why they chose you for this specific role. You know what I'm saying? So you could have did a phenomenal job, but you could have been like the not the right, exact look, or they wanted somebody taller, shorter, fatter, skinnier, It's a bunch of different factors, but it's pretty fun.
Are you taking acting classes?
I am looking to take, since I moved to Atlanta, I have some actor friends who have sent me invitations to do different, classes and stuff, but I've done acting classes in school and stuff.
So okay, so how is it living in ATL? Since making the move from
It's
Louisiana.
cool. It's very cold right now. The drivers are horrendous.
Mm,
The worst drivers ever.
wow.
But I like it. You got different views. There's so much to see out here that I haven't even been able to, go and see yet. There's a bunch of like trails and nature walks and stuff like that. But there's a lot going on. There's something to do every day.
Dope, dope. So, I appreciate you for being on the show. I want to take up too much of your time. I just want to say, I appreciate you for being on the show. I'm actually a big fan of yours. I'm actually looking forward to the album. Um, if you would love to come back on to actually promote your album, my platform is always open to you officially associate alumni. So that means it's like being an alumni out of high school or college. You know, anything you want to promote or anything you want to be a part of our panel, we talk about politics. You talk about music. We talk about relationships. You talk about nothing is actually left off the table when it comes to social conversations. But you're now officially associate alumni, so you're more than welcome back to come on the show, and I would love to have you back on. You hear me?
No, it kind of like froze. Hold on. Can I hear you now?
Yeah, so no, I was saying like you're officially associate alumni. So, anytime you want to come back on the
Oh,
show,
nice.
promote your stuff and stuff like that. So, we appreciate you. Or anytime you want to be part of our panel, we talk about everything, talk relationships and stuff like that. So, if you'd love to be, anytime
Okay.
you want to be on the show, we make that happen. Um, any plans to come to New York anytime soon? That's why I'm
Actually, that's funny because I am actually looking for a booking agent out there. Like I was looking for one earlier today, so
okay.
I am looking to do more shows out there.
Okay, okay, definitely, definitely. And when you come to New York, and definitely, you know, to hook you up with some of my peoples that I know in the music industry as well. So, and also you just want to just like chill
Yeah, I
with
got
some of
some
your
family out there too.
cool, cool. What part of New York?
They're in Queens.
Okay, Queens. I'm from the Bronx.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's my
next
nephew's
time.
name.
Oh, really? Dope, 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 dope. Yeah. So next
Yeah.
time you're in New York, we gotta link up. We gotta
Hmm.
do. We gotta chill out, maybe pop some bottles or something like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Um, is there anything else you would like to add on before we get out of here?
Um, no, just check out my website for updates, www.ariemusic.com. I'll be posting stuff on Instagram too, but yeah, I'm about to start shooting and hitting the gas 2022.
Absolutely, absolutely. Saucy Nation, make sure you go and actually support her. Her website, Instagram, um, everything is actually in the description below. So make sure you go support her and support her music. It's on all streaming platforms as well. Also, Saucy Nation, make sure you get some official Sauce Conversation merch. The link is in our bio on Teespring. Shout out to our sponsors, Click A Vodka. Shout out to our sponsor, Hoodies and Remedies. Don't forget to use our promo code HRME Sauce to get 10% off at the checkout. Shout out to my co-host Mac, Bernice, Dad. They're gonna be here today, but shout out to them. And also, I got a 24/7 streaming service coming soon this year. So I'm looking for other content creators, whether you're podcasting, whether you're a music producer, whether you do TV production, or you're a musical artist, you like your video played on a channel. Just hit me up at Saucy Nation TV gmail.com, Saucy Nation TV at gmail.com, and taking us out. It's Ari single. I like it. Peace and love, y'all. We appreciate you for joining us today.
Is it over?